Hello, this is Graham. We all have different ways of coping with reading academic papers. I thought I'd record my own approach so that you can see how I tackle this. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that you should have to do it the same way. It works for me, and if you've got a better way, please share it too. Thank you. To begin with, here are just a few principles. We know that making notes enhances our recall. We also know that reviewing notes 2 times produces optimal recall. If we review our notes within 1 to 2 weeks and 1 to 2 months, then our recall is significantly greater than it would have been otherwise. Further reading can improve our recall, but not necessarily by a substantial amount. We also know that any form of notes works, though visual appearance is significant, and we know that pure prose doesn't work. As you'll see, I use my own version of mind mapping. It works for me, I've been doing it for decades, but there's no reason why you can't do something else. I hope that you'll see that this process is actually quite effective and quite quick. I begin by adding the referencing information, a full bibliographic reference in the centre of my notes. I also include the DOI reference, and I frame the whole of that text to keep it distinct. You'll see why in a few moments. I next work from the abstract. I go through the abstract very carefully, reading it fully. If the abstract is good, then the notes that I make from this may be sufficient. And it's at this point that I will decide whether I'm going to continue reading the paper. Even good abstracts do sometimes lack key information, such as sample sizes, methods, and the limitations of the research that are known to the author. So I skim the introduction, discussion, and conclusion to find these. I very rarely need to look at the method or the results. In skimming those 3 sections, I may find some extra bits of information that I find useful and would want to add to my notes. Having made my notes, I then upload them to Evernote. Evernote uses character recognition to analyse the text in images. This is incredibly useful later because in the future I can search for words and find the notes. And finally, using just the DOI, Zotero will allow me to retrieve the full bibliographic information. This allows me to search for articles and to build a reference list. It also allows me to attach a PDF to the record if the item is particularly significant. That's it. I have a set of summary notes. They're stored in a way that allows me to easily search and find them later, and the full bibliographic information is available for me to find articles that I've read and include them in a reference list or bibliography. I hope that you'll find this useful. It isn't perfect, but it works for me. And as I've said earlier, if you've got better ways, please do share them. Thank you.